Good morning and welcome back to Margin. This morning we're going to talk about setting benchmarks for your legacy. So let's jump right into it. In yesterday's episode, we looked at developing a vision or a mission statement for your life and the legacy you want to leave behind at some point. Now, we discussed making sure to include in this all components of your world, not just the financial component, but including those 7 F's. Now, in today's episode, we're going to move from the forest to the trees and looking at setting benchmarks. Now, the 7 F's look at what you want in regards to your relationships, how healthy you want those relationships to be, your financial situation, as well as how well you lived your life in staying true to your convictions, your values, and your character otherwise. But as a reminder, these 7 F's are faith, family, friends, finances, fun, and focus or future. So making sure to just remind you as we go through these episodes to be thinking on all those fronts and not just on the finances front. So benchmarks are simply what you want to accomplish between point A and point B, from point B to point C, and so on and so forth. So for so many people, benchmarks take the form of decades, seasons, or situations in their life otherwise. And I would say an example of this may be decades. It may be what you want to accomplish in your 20s, 30s, or 40s. Whereas a season may be defined as what you want to accomplish while you are in school, while you're dating. Although that may be a little bit difficult to define, at least time-wise. While you have children in school, or maybe you're living in a certain location or are employed at a certain job or in a certain career field. Now, these are all seasons of life, which life is built up of many seasons. But another example of this may be a circumstance or a situation that you anticipate, like a period of time that you'll be studying for a CPA certification or for the bar, which could be shorter than a season that you maybe would be in an undergraduate study or degree program. Now, these circumstances or situations may in and of themselves be an accomplishment or may be a cause for a slowdown or a distraction from your benchmark and what you're trying to accomplish. Now, here we are only speaking of those that are anticipated. You will probably also have interruptions that you didn't plan on or plan for, but control the controllables in this context. Next, I would choose a method as a starting point. For ease, this may be choosing a decade to build out your benchmarks for what you want to accomplish in that decade. So an example of this for finances may be, in my 40s, I want to finish paying off my home so my family can redirect those funds to college and retirement funds, as well as buying a business in the future. Now, it can be something as simple as that for your finances. So this can take the form of a storyline, a sentence, or simply a bullet point, but writing down what you want to accomplish and by when can really help you to have a simplistic way of seeing opportunities that come your way and whether they align with where you want to land for that decade in regards to your benchmarks. So whether it takes you towards your goals, towards your benchmark, or away from that. So once you have set out your decades, seasons, or circumstance-based benchmarks, you'll want to look at how many components at each benchmark you have to ensure what you are aiming at is actually realistic, especially once it's compiled and you have the 7 F's broken out. You want to make sure that that's something that you can actually accomplish. You will then compare this again to your vision to ensure that each area aligns with what you actually want. Now, this area will take some time, some thought, prayer, reflection, and probably some counsel from those that you trust. So building something like this will not come to you overnight. So you may consider breaking each benchmark based upon the individual 7 F's that you are focusing on. So this may take the form of looking at fun and looking at each decade of what you want fun to be defined as and what it looks like for you to win in that specific area, in that specific benchmark for that decade. So my call to action today is to create your benchmarks for your specific life and decide how these benchmarks are going to be measured based on time, in the form of decades, seasons, or circumstances otherwise. If this information is helpful to you, please do like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you're reminded to come back on a daily basis and improve in managing your personal finances. Thank you for your time. Enjoy your day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.